Hello everyone, welcome back to Inside India and Global Affair YouTube channel. Indo-China bilateral relationship has been facing long-standing border issues, and India shares second longest border with China. In addition, five Indian states share a border with China. Both the countries' border is divided into three sectors: Western sector, Middle sector, and Eastern sector. Together, these three sectors have a total length of 3,488 kilometers. This border is known as the Line of Mutual Control or LAC. In this video, I will focus on border dispute in Arunachal Pradesh. So, I will take up a few questions related to Indo-China border issues in Arunachal Pradesh. First one, why does China claim rights over Arunachal Pradesh despite India's sovereignty over the state being internationally recognized? Second one, why is Taiwan the center of attraction in Arunachal Pradesh? Third one, how is Arunachal Pradesh strategically and geopolitically important to India? Background: Arunachal Pradesh was earlier known as the Northeast Frontier Agency. It was renamed Arunachal Pradesh and became a union territory on January 20th, 1972. Later, it attained full-fledged statehood on February 20th, 1987. This state is also known as the Land of Rising Sun. And Arunachal Pradesh is the largest state in India's northeast region. It shares international 1,080-kilometer borders with China to the north and northwest, and 160-kilometer with Bhutan to the east, and 440 km with Myanmar to the east. Therefore, Arunachal Pradesh acts as a strategic, geographical, and defensive shield for India's northeastern states. The McMahon line separates Arunachal Pradesh from Tibet. It is an 890-kilometer boundary line. However, India recognized the McMahon line as the legal international border, but China rejected the McMahon line because China views Arunachal Pradesh as part of South Tibet and claims approximately 90,000 square kilometers in northeast India, which includes the entire state of Arunachal Pradesh. Why is China claiming rights over Arunachal Pradesh? China's assertion over Arunachal Pradesh is primarily based on its claimed historical ties to Tibet and its rejection of 1914 Shimla Convention. China consistently frames Arunachal Pradesh as a legacy of past Tibetan administration. Historically, Tibet functioned as a self-governing entity under Qing Chinese suzerainty from 1720 to 1912. Following the collapse of Qing dynasty in 1912, Tibet declared itself independent and functioned as a de facto independent entity with its own government. Although China claimed all former Qing territories, including Tibet, as part of its sovereign domain, British sought to establish Tibet as a buffer state between British India and China. Consequently, the Simla Convention of 1914 was started among British China and Tibet and proposed the McMahon Line as the boundary between Tibet and British India. However, China refused to sign the convention, asserting that Tibet was an integral part of China. Therefore, Tibet do not have the authority to enter into international treaty or sign Simla Convention. In October 1950, China took control of Tibet and Tibetan representatives subsequently signed the 17-point agreement in Beijing. Why is Tawang important in Arunachal Pradesh to China? China's claim over Arunachal Pradesh is particularly focused on Tawang district for various reasons. First one, from a historical and religious perspective, Tawang Monastery has long-standing religious and cultural linkages with monasteries in Laos. China argues that the sixth Dalai Lama, Sangyang Gasto, was born in Tawang. Therefore, contends that Arunachal Pradesh is historically a part of Tibet. Second reason, the Upper Siang region of Arunachal Pradesh, including areas around Tawang, has a visible and strong Tibetan cultural presence. China pursues this as a potential threat in the form of clandestine pan-Tibetan movement operating across the Indo-China border. These concerns are reinforced by the presence of the Dalai Lama. Leaders and members of Adi and Galu tribes have argued that China's assertiveness towards Arunachal Pradesh is partly driven by the Dalai Lama's frequent visit to Tawang. They contended such visits generate anxiety among local communities and revive fears of China's aggression of 1962 conflict. Consequently, some tribal voices have suggested that the Dalai Lama's visit to Tawang should be restrained, as they believe these visits adversely affect Indo-China relations in general and the security situation in Arunachal Pradesh in particular. Third reason, Tawang district shares border with Bhutan to its southwest. If Tawang were to be absorbed by China, Bhutan would be strategically encircled by China on multiple flanks. This development that would be unfavorable to India's security interest and strategically advantageous for China. Therefore, maintaining strong and cordial Indo-Bhutan bilateral relationship is essential for regional stability and India's strategic interest. Fourth reason, the threat to Siliguri corridor or India's chicken neck. If China encroach upon Taiwan, it would potentially gain easier strategic access towards the Siliguri corridor to China. The Siliguri corridor is a narrow stretch of land that connects mainland with its northeastern states. How is Arunachal Pradesh strategically and geopolitically important to India? India's closest territory to China is Arunachal Pradesh. It could be a missile launch site, and its air defense would be most effective if stationed there. And Arunachal Pradesh strategic location, natural resource, cultural variety, and biodiversity makes crucial to India's neighborhood strategy.